Shout out to G-Man Boxing.
Alright lads and lads, so a fight that I'm looking forward to, but we've had virtually no word on, is Oleksandr Usyk versus Joyce. That fight was, at the start of this year, they were saying kind of May, June time. I mean, I think there were some people who were reporting that it could be as early as April. Well, that's definitely been and gone. Well, it's not going to happen in May or June either. But I'd like to know, because we've heard virtually nothing about that fight in the last recent weeks. And now we're actually hearing that the IBF, I think was it Klimas, Usyk's manager from the K2 side, have said that the IBF, if they offered him an eliminator against Hrgovic, you know, I really can't see them taking that fight, to be honest with you. Not that they'd be afraid of Hrgovic, and not that it's, well, Hrgovic is kind of, he's really in the who needs you bracket, because Hrgovic is a dangerous fight for anybody. Doesn't generate a massive amount of money. If you beat him, you've beaten him, but if you lose to him, you know, where do you go? Like, because he's still not seen as, I suppose he's more than a prospect. He's not a prospect at this stage, he's gone past that, but he's still not kind of at that level. He's still not a massive name in the heavyweight division. And what do you gain by fighting him if you're Oleksandr Usyk? You know, because Klimas, I think is the guy, how you pronounce the guy's name, he's been saying that's what they've been offered, you know, an IBF. At the end of the day, if you beat him, you're mandatory for the IBF, so you're guaranteed a shot at Anthony Joshua. We know the IBF are sticklers for their mandatory, but you're the WBO mandatory challenger anyway. You know, is there a bigger percentage in terms of mandatory split for you if you're the IBF mandatory? I think they're about the same. You know, if someone wants to correct me on that, but I'm pretty sure that, I think it's 20% or 25% the IBF mandatory challenger gets, and I'm pretty sure it's probably the same with the WBO. So for me, it's kind of like, well, you're Usyk, why would you? You've already beaten Joyce in the amateurs. It would make more money, certainly in the UK. At least I'm pretty sure it would anyway, fighting Joyce. And at the end of the day, you're guaranteed a crack at AJ or AJ Fury, regardless of, you know, whether you fight Joyce or not, regardless of pretty much whether you fight that IBF fight or not, you're guaranteed that shot at some stage. You know, I know Team Usyk have said they're waiting to see what's happening with Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. Like us all, you know, I've heard what they've said this week. I'm not touching on it. As I said in that video I done the other day, until they announce that fight, I ain't gonna talk about it, because I'm sick to death of hearing it next week. Just, nah, I'm sick to death of that. Until they announce it and I see a fight poster, I ain't making a video on that. I'm sick to death. It's just been rinse and repeat. It's the same thing. So AJ versus Fury, they're waiting to see kind of what happens there, when it'll get announced, and then I think once that does get announced, then I think we'll see the ball roll for Usyk Joyce. That to me is a fight that I'm more intrigued in, you know, because I've seen what happened in the World Series of Boxing. I saw what Usyk did. That was a long time ago. That was 2013. It's now 2021. It's been 8 years nearly. I want to see now what will happen, because I think that both guys have improved, but I think that Oleksandr Usyk, could he be nearing the end of his prime years? I've seen in recent clips where he's been saying he's weighing 231. Now, I think that that's not a very good idea, personally, if he's coming into the ring that heavy at heavyweight, because some of his advantages when he's in the two teens are that he's lighter, that he's faster, that he's more stamina, that he's more agile. You add on, because for his last fight he was, what, 217, so he's saying he's 231 now, so it's a gain of about a stone. Is that going to benefit Usyk? I don't think it will. And against someone like Joyce, when he fought Joyce in the amateurs back in 2013, he was about 215. They weighed in kilos, but I think if you calculate the pounds, it's about 215, give or take. He was able to move, bob and weave, you know, counter Joyce to death. He beat the crap out of Joyce. If he's heavier and he's a bit slower and he's more stationary, and I think Joyce, bear in mind, even if Usyk was in the two teens, I'd still give Joyce a very good shot in this fight. But if Usyk is heavier and he's a bit slower, and maybe he's not as fleet-footed as he was, you know, in the two teens, this is going to be an interesting fight. And I really want to know when this, because this is a fight that I think it's great. I think it's an intriguing fight. I really want to see it. I'm just wondering, when are we going to get the announcement on this fight? You know, I want to see Usyk versus Joyce. I know a majority of people do, but it's like, where are we with this? You know, I I had a joke with my, well, it was kind of a joke on the channel, but when Usyk was, this going back to like early 2020, when Usyk Chisora was being talked about, I was always saying, when are we going to get the announcement? When are we going to get the announcement? When are we going to get the announcement? And every single time I'd make a video on it, within like a day, I remember the day that fight was originally announced for May 2020, this is before you know what, I did a video that morning saying, why haven't we got an announcement? And that evening, we got the announcement. So wait and you see. Watch this space. They'll announce like something with Joyce versus Usyk straight after I upload this. Wait and you see. But even still, all jokes aside, it's a fight I want to see. It's a fight I'm intrigued about. I'm interested to know what Usyk feels the need to have put on, you know, the extra bit of weight. He's saying he's about 231. I've never seen where a fighter has gained weight unnecessarily. Maybe there's a reason behind it, but when it's unnecessary, you know, when they just gained it for the sake of it, I've never seen that benefit them. You know, as I said, Usyk's whole advantage of heavyweight is he's faster, he's more mobile, he can throw more punches, he's more agile, and he's better stamina. You add on unnecessary weight, you're going to take some of them attributes away. That's just no two ways about it. So we'll need to watch this space and see how Usyk looks in training. But for now, going to leave this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button if you did. Subscribe, of course, if you guys are new to the channel. Hashtag GMansRocks, all that good stuff. Lads and lads, for now, I'll talk to you. Peace.